have a couple of tips and tricks for you today. I am going to show you how to get better cuts with your small little papers on a trimmer. I don't have my slide trimmer, but it pretty much works the same way. So when you have a long strip like this and you want to just take a little whack off of that puppy, just a little bit, you get it all lined up, you put this down, you go to do it and it moves. You know, or even if you want it to be really thin like that. So what you do, I line it up with these lines going along here, tape it at the top, tape it at the bottom, and this one I'm kind of taping on that side of the line. Put this down, just give a little pressure here just to kind of just cut right through the whole lot. And then you have your little strip, and use blue tape or drafting tape, something that's really low tack like that, so you don't have any problem. See, I'm not having any problem with it sticking to my paper. Then you have your nice little thin bit that you needed, but have the frustration, of course, of having that stuff go everywhere on you. This is really thin book paper, just floppy, and I want to cut it, but it tends to want to tear in on the edges, especially slide ones, and this should work with your slide cutter too. Put your piece of tape right over where you're going to cut. Instead of putting it to the side or over here, put it right over where you're going to cut on both ends. So that tape is easy, cuts really easy. You can just go through it with your fingernail. So it protects those edges, and then when you slice down through, you don't have any problems, and you can just take the blue tape, just comes right off your delicate paper like that, just comes right off, and you can cut that delicate paper that wants to snag, especially on the slide cutters. I've noticed that it is really a pain in the tuchus. They do not like to cut in slide ones at all. Even with a sharp blade, sometimes it's really hard to get a decent cut, but that should help you out. And then when you've got just a little fella like this, you just need to trim off a little wee wedge like that. Just put the tape here instead, and you can cut your wee little wedge, and you won't have the paper going like that. Because I noticed some people have complained about these rotary cutters, and they feel like when they get down to the bottom, it goes in or out. It doesn't get an accurate cut. But sometimes what people do is they hold the paper up here, and they get it all lined up, and they hold it clear up here, and when they try to go down like that, it can push the paper. So when you're going to cut, get it all lined up, hold it right here so it's near the bottom and near the top, and if it's a really big piece of paper, just get down there like that. And especially if you're having trouble down here, then just hold that down firmly and you'll get a cut with no wobbles. No wobbles. Nice straight cut. So there's a tip for you with your slide cutters or rotary cutters. It works either way. Something else I recently discovered I'll share with you. Somebody somewhere said, oh, you can make glue dots with Eileen's Tack It over and over. And sure enough, you can. And these glue dots are uber sticky. I've already unstuck these so I can show you. Let's see, can you see them there? Sorta, right in there. And they are uber sticky, and they work really good. These are kind of smaller ones. Let's see if I can get it. So they're kind of smaller. And then I have some that are bigger too. And this is just wax paper. I wouldn't use deli paper. I don't think it's non-sticky enough. But this is just wax paper, and I just made a long strip of wax paper, put my little spots of glue along there, and let it dry at least overnight, because this tack it over and over stuff takes a really long time to dry. You don't want to hit it with your heat gun. Trust me. That's not a good plan. So just lay out your strips of wax paper and let them dry overnight. Last tip is people seem to be having trouble, and I have crap on the back of my block. Nice. People seem to be having trouble figuring out, what do you do with this to get your stamp? This is Stamp-A-Majig, so you're supposed to be able to line it up. So I'm going to put a little tape on the edges of this so that it doesn't move, okay? Because you want to be able to line it up perfect, right? I mean, if you want that circle right in the center and you don't want your paper moving, the blue tape won't stick to your paper. So first what you do is you want to line up the card and this perfectly. Maybe I should do it on this side so that you can see where your stamp's going to go, and I have to clean that one off because I use StazOn for that one. Let me grab a ink pad. Okay, you're going to use your block, your stamp on your block. Keep it kind of towards the corner so you can line it up. That is actually sticking over just a little bit. Make sure it's not hanging over because you want to be able to slide your block right down like that. So what you're going to do is ink up your stamp. I'll push this over where you can probably see a little bit better. Slide this clear piece, which is probably hard for you to see, but slide it clear up. Make sure it's set in both corners on that. You want it to be right. Okay, then hold this part still. Slide your block down until it meets that. Push down on it. Pick it back up. Now you have your stamped image on your thing. So next what you do is you decide right where you want it on your page. Get it all figured out so you have it nice in the center or whatever. Ink up your stamp so it's ready to go. Okay, then hold it right where you, get it right where you want it. Put this little fella right there so it's right up against, on both sides, right up against your plastic piece. Push down, move your plastic piece, and take your stamp with your block. Make it sure it's up against both sides in that corner. Go straight down. You can move that, press your stamp good, and there you have it right in the middle. It's absolutely marvelous. Then when you're all done, you just take your baby wipe and wipe down your card. And if you haven't used StazOn, it comes right off. If you use StazOn, then you'll have to get out your StazOn cleaner or whatever, alcohol, and clean that. You just wipe it off and you're good to go the next time. Absolutely amazing. Took me forever to finally buy one of these. I wanted one forever. But now I have one, and I love it. So there is the last tip for this video. Thanks for joining me. I will see you next time. Bye.